Metro Olgata, and thank you so much for joining us once more on the show. It's always great to have your company. KILA joins me again tonight. KILA, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. Good to bring the sports back again for this week.
Yeah, look, you've covered a number of interesting stories throughout the week, but I think one that stood out for me was the T20 qualifiers for our PNG Barramundis. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we caught up with the general manager for Cricket PNG, and he gave us an insight on how PNG Barramundis have fared in the T20 qualifiers in Dubai. So yeah, we'll find out more on that.
Yeah, later in the show.
Yes.
All right, that's awesome. Now, before we continue on, I'd just like to mention that we are just actually 4 episodes out from season ending. So in the next 4 weeks, we'll be bringing you some EA-in reviews for sporting bodies in the country for the next 4 weeks. So now we begin with the topic of academia and sports, a powerful combination that is. With the establishment of the high-performance PNG, the concept of university sports has been introduced. A renowned athlete, the MURIA, is on the ground driving this concept through.
"174 countries, more than 60 sports, the largest global sports events for student athletes. Thousands of athletes, millions of students. Welcome to FISU."
It's mostly to sports. It's mostly about sports with university, like athletes, and also tertiary institutions like ITI, IBS, all those other tertiary institutions in PNG. We normally run 4 programs in a year. We run one in April, one in June. We coincide mostly with the environment month, World Environment Month, which we go around. Sometimes we plant trees, we collect rubbish around the city, and we end up playing sports. All the tertiary institutions and the universities, they have a all day of competition, just playing against each other. Yeah. I think the FISU Games it's more like the Olympics, because you have all the countries participating, but most especially university students. So yeah, I think it's one step below the Olympic Games, but we also have university games in Australia. So we want to try and build it up slowly by attending those, and maybe later get onto the world stage.
These top-class events bring together the world's best student athletes between the ages of 17 and 25. The Universiades are the largest and most prestigious international university sport events in the world. Live action from the Universiades is broadcast to more than 100 countries and can be watched from anywhere in the world on digital platforms.
We had Pacific Adventist University, IBS, University of Papua New Guinea, International Training Institute, IEA TAFE College. So we're around 6 tertiary, and Don Bosco Technological Institute. So those were the 6 schools that attended. There was a big group of students. Bring a team next year to take part in any FISU activity. That's our short-term goal. Our long-term goal in the next 5 years, because FISU sport is also, I think, played every 4 years, like the Olympic Games. So I think they had it this year. So we're trying to hopefully get an individual team sport, maybe 2 or 3 people to go down and participate or take part in the next World FISU Games. Yeah.
FISU takes pride in expanding the role, reach and impact of university sport worldwide.
To some rugby now. The PNG Palais have concluded their selection trials ahead of the international engagements. A team will be finalized soon, according to selectors.
Yes, the Oceania Women's 15th Championships plus World Cup qualifier will be from November 18 to the 30th in Lautoka, Fiji. So yeah, we're basically 2 to 3 weeks away from the tournament.
So far, how many girls in the team, and how long has been the preparation and the training camp?
Well, basically the selection process started from last year's tournament in November last year, so we had a year to look at the girls. We started off with about 65 girls. We brought it down to about now 45 to about 50 for the trial matches, including girls from Lei, Rabal, and one from Manus, but she didn't turn up. But obviously the technical areas is where we were let down in the last tournament in November last year. So we had a year to work on this. Especially over the last 2 months, we've worked very hard on the technical areas, the set pieces, the ruck phases, the ruck play, what to do with the rucks, defending and attack. So we've worked hard on it, and the girls have really picked up. In terms of our preparation compared to last year, we're about 50% more prepared. Definitely we got our set pieces covered, definitely. We got to be realistic. We didn't win any games last year. We got several countries that have got more or less better prepared than us, but we've covered areas where we think we should be competitive. I can say that we will be competitive enough to make at least the top 3, even better make the top 2. A chance for repechage. So because at this tournament, the winner gets a direct entry to the World Cup, New Zealand 2022. The runner-up gets a repechage, so you get a second chance. And I believe Port Moresby is hosting the repechage here in Moresby as well. So if we can come second in this whole thing, we get to host the repechage here, and we still get a chance to get the World Cup. With the girls rugby league girls that have come in, they actually play in our club competitions, especially the ones in NCD and POM, CRU. The ones in Lei, they also play in the local Lei Rugby Union as well. So yeah, we give them the option. If they want to choose, they want to choose. We don't close selections off to only rugby union players. There's volleyball players, cricket players. Yes, the Oceania Women's 15th Championships plus World Cup qualifier will be from November 18 to the 30th in Lautoka, Fiji. So yeah, we're basically 2 to 3 weeks away from the tournament.
So far, how many girls in the team, and how long has been the preparation and the training camp?
Well, basically the selection process started from last year's tournament in November last year, so we had a year to look at the girls. We started off with about 65 girls. We brought it down to about now 45 to about 50 for the trial matches, including girls from Lei, Rabal, and one from Manus, but she didn't turn up. But yeah, after today's selection trial, we have an option of having a second one on Tuesday. But we've seen enough after today. We might call it a day. But yeah, it was pretty good today, and the girls really stepped up, and it's looking promising at the moment.
We'll go for a break now. Coming up next, PNG Amoa, that's the women's team, gets the much-needed support. Stay with us.
Welcome back, you're watching Sports Scene. With an international fixture set for the 22nd November, that's just weeks away, NCDC has come to the aid of PNG's national women's Amoa team with the much-needed financial support. Let's meet the girls who will represent us at the 54th Neighbourhood Challenge in Canberra, Australia. 2015 Pacific Games was the last international game in which the PNG national women's volleyball team, or Amoa, participated. Months of preparations leading up to the 2019 Pacific Games came to waste as they could not meet the qualification requirements set out by the PNG Olympics Committee. With this rebound, the PNG Volleyball Federation set to work. Towards achieving this, the Amoa women's team have now secured an international fixture to be held in November next year.
We want to showcase our young girls' potential so they can live up to an expectation that we feel that they can perform at the next Pacific Games. So this is our starting point, to give these young girls the space to perform at an international competition.
Peter Tsiamalili, the CEO of PNG Sports Foundation, challenged the Amoas in working towards the 2023 Pacific Games in the Solomon Islands.
And my money will be now on the gold medal for 2023 for the women's, for sure, if we're going the way we're going right now. So me talk thank you straight lo Mr. KILA Dick want them this la leadership long lo allow him opportunity blo yumi lo take that step forward, address him all these challenges we got, but more importantly now to help the girls prepare towards that journey towards the 2023, which is not far.
On behalf of business communities, we would like to also stand and support behind NCD and the president of Volleyball Federation, and would like to see that a lot of young men and women participate in sports.
The preparation has been okay, it's good. The girls have been training since January for the South Pacific Games, but unfortunately they did not make it, so it's a very big help to the girls for the tournament, as we'll cover all costs for this trip.
During the corporate dinner hosted by the Federation, business communities also showed and pledged their support.
Yeah, I believe in the girls. Yeah, they are very, though you may say, or you may say that they lack in height, but they big in heart. They are very competitive. I believe the Federation is looking at sending our teams next year, in August, to the Gold Coast Games. So those girls who were selected for the Pacific Games, I think they will be considered as well in the future games.
The Amoa side comprises of Joy Stick, Philo Ameza, Clara Vele, Perpetua Awadu, Velga Sinari, Hitolo Raka, Trista Fagau, Antoinette Isakina, Linda J. Aufe, Doriga Oni, Caroline Kila.
Great support there coming from NCDC to our national volleyball team, that's the women's team. Unfortunately for them, they actually started preparations early out since last year, and then they went all the way into they came into the new year with a train-on squad, and they were getting ready for the Pacific Games, which was in July. Unfortunately, they did not make it to the games. Yes. And this would be, them going to Canberra now would be the first international in what, 5 years since 2015,
yes,
Pacific Games?
After 4 to 5 years. And then I think they didn't meet the Olympics PNG's requirements of international exposure. So. Yeah. That was set by the Olympics Committee. Unfortunately for them, they didn't meet it, so they missed out then. But they are excited about this and looking forward to this game. Yeah, most
notably, 2015 Pacific Games captain Lois Garana is not in the team as well.
That's right. That was a surprise.
I was surprised not to find her name.
A lot of new players that are new talents that they've taken on board. And
some very strong players, not to mention some very strong players coming through as well. So this would be a good time for them to go and showcase what they have to offer and be part of the national team when they get to Canberra.
That's right, and they've been challenged by the CEO for Sports Foundation, Peter Tsiamalili, to step up their game and get the gold in 2023 Pacific Games. So, a big challenge there.
Yeah.
So,
all right, we'll see about that. All right, moving on to some rugby league now, and the PNG Rugby Football League Southern Confederations Club Championship is currently underway in Port Moresby. We spoke to Director Gwaibu Mari of the league's progress.
It's a nice move in that PNG RFL has reintroduced the club championships, which is good. It used to be previously called the Cambridge Cup before, as you may recall. At this point in time, I will, really thank the chairman and the board and the administration for introducing the program. It gives the Premiership clubs sort of a next level of competition, and it makes it all that interesting to be affiliated and be part of Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League. National club championships, elimination rounds for the regions. So basically, we've been tasked to eliminate our premier teams, And this is the process, second week of the process. We have 16 affiliated leagues who have almost completed with the 90% of the competitions all coming to an end. So we're trying to get the elimination rounds for the premiership teams. It's a 16-8-4-2-1 process, and that one represents the region in the national championships 17th of November in Palais. So it's going to be a very tense elimination process. You might know that they're all premier clubs and they won their competitions in their particular leagues. So yeah, it's going to be pretty tough amongst themselves.
Okay, we'll go for a break now, and on the other side, we'll take a look at NRL in Papua New Guinea.
To Rural League, the BORENOMU Flyers from Gaira Village in Central Province are 2019 champions in the Hiri East Rugby League competition. It was a double celebration for the club as they took up the crown in both the under-20 and A-grade divisions respectively.
The Hiri East Championship Grand Final was brought to Port Moresby's National Football Stadium, Field 2 for the showdown. The fans, family and friends of Rugby League from the Motu and coastline villages, all eager to get a glimpse of the game on a pitch that's different to the familiar village setup. In the A-grade division, BORENOMU Flyers from Gaire were up against an experienced Gaba Kundu side from Gaba Gaba. A formal start to the game with a touch of traditional beats from the Kundu. The whistle got the game underway as both teams came out guns blazing. The Papuan Rugby League flavour on the menu. Fast, free flow of football was on display. It was an intense battle as both teams played it physical. Neither team found the right play for points. At halftime, the scores were still at 0-0.
Halftime with both sides.
The halftime break brought with it newfound energy and determination. It was the younger side, BORENOMU, who crossed over first through captain Wallen Tauloi 10 minutes into the second half. With the momentum in their favour, the boys from Gaire scored another converted try to lead 12 points to 0. The Gaba Gaba team tried their best to respond with a try at the back end of the game, but it was too little, too late.
19 minutes to go. Off the field.
The scores at full time, Flyers 12, Kundus 4.
Yes, I'm really proud of my boys, even the opponents. I mean, we've struggled a long time. After 7 years, it's just too long. Finally, we won the grand final.
You played an outstanding game today. You led the team from the front. You must be proud of your efforts today.
Yes, I'm proud of myself. I had to give back to the team owner. He's done a lot for me, so thank you.
All these boys are pure, the boys from Gaire, and most of them are back in the villages. And me and my wife and my family, we brought these guys from the village, and it's very, very hard because of the time spent and the social issues that we face. We use sports to promote non-alcohol, drugs, and violence, all this. We try to reduce this using sports, and that is one of our main agendas in doing that.
BORENOMU's under-20 side also took out the top prize in their respective division.
Definitely, here is a very exciting crop of players that are coming through. We have a lot of talent in the village, but it is really up to all of us to take responsibility. You know, club presidents, executives, players themselves, and even the community that we play in. That they need to support rugby league so that we can, you know, breed future Comals and then we can become very competitive on the international scene.
Who we are, and we tell them we are the Flyers, we are the Flyers, the mighty, mighty Flyers, the mighty, mighty Flyers. If you can't hear us, if you can't hear us, shout a little louder, shout a little louder. Everywhere we go, people always ask us, people always ask us who we are, and we tell them, we are the Flyers, we are the Flyers, the mighty, mighty Flyers, the mighty, mighty Flyers.
Let's give a big hand to our BORENOMU Flyers. Nice. Thank you very much.
We continue with more stories on Rugby League. The Port Moresby North East Sports Foundation is using sports as a tool for change. The foundation has initiated a program known as the Disciplinary Cup. This involves a rugby league competition for the men and volleyball for the women at the McGregor Barracks. We spoke to the foundation vice president, Alan John, of the program now into its 8th week.
Alan John, thanks for giving us the opportunity to speak with you on a wonderful Saturday. You have a competition running here. Tell us about the concept itself and how it started.
Yeah, we started this 2019 Disciplinary Cup from McGregor Police Barracks. We had Port Moresby North East Sports Foundation. We've come up with this initiative to start the league out here. It's specially designed for all the disciplinary forces, for all the police barracks, CIS barracks, PNG DF barracks, and currently we are including all those ones within the Port Moresby Northeast electorate. Probably next year and onwards we'll try to increase our team, the number of teams taking part in this 2019 Disciplinary Cup. We will increase the number of teams by involving all those clubs from Tauranga, Mari Barracks and Games Village, as well as Tassion Barracks.
So far, how many teams do you have participating?
Now, currently we have 12 clubs, 12 clubs taking part in this season now. We've got Bomana Police College, CIS, Correctional Service, another team from Goldie Barracks, and ATS Oaks, McGregor Team 1, Team 2, and NPF Police Station, Gorens Barracks, and Evedana. There's a small barracks out there. We've also included them in the calendar.
Okay, so you have different divisions?
We've got only 2 divisions for A and B for men's rugby league. By next year, we wanted to include women's rugby league. We were also going to include them, and we're going to get the open division for women. Currently, we've got men's division rugby league A and B, and volleyball open divisions for women, women's volleyball. Currently taking part in this tournament now.
Okay, so when do you expect this tournament to finish, and from when did it start?
We've started this program from August, and our calendar clearly defines that we're going to finish our game probably on December 15 to 20, around there. We've scheduled our program to finish from December.
You're playing in a barracks right now. How has the support been from the authority here?
Yeah, well, actually, the administration, McGregor Police Barracks, Special Service Division Administration, aware of our situation here. The tournament is in progress well. We've got various support from the administration, like the basics, like giving us the water, providing us the water, and we've already created, we've dug 2 pits for ablution block. We're going to use them for girls and boys. 2 ablution blocks already been done out there. And we've got field marshals monitoring all the programs out here right now.
So this program is entirely supported by the Mosby Northeast electorate member, or does it come under a separate arrangement?
All right, now currently Port Moresby Northeast have come up with the initiative to start this program. 2019 Disciplinary Cup at McGregor Police Barracks. Currently we've got the Honorable Governor for NCDC. He is already aware of our situation out here. We wanted to get this game. Our long-term plan is to get this game to connect with the ACP programs, Active City programs for NCDC. And we've got another submissions. We've got 2 submissions already been submitted to the office of the Honorable Member. Must be noticed, Mr. John Korake, and I'm pretty sure he's already aware of our situation out here.
What's the support been like, the turn-up and the behavior of the teams?
All right, now currently we've got 12 selected teams across the barracks, the discipline institution across Port Moresby Northeast, and the turn-up of the spectators and the clubs are very well organized. I believe all the clubs have already got the forms already. We've got another 10 forms, which these forms are the season manuals. Season manuals, meaning that the game has already been scrutinized already in the forms. If you have, for instance, Form 3, Form 3A and Form 3B is the team sheet, A and B. Form 9 is the complaint letter, and there's a couple of forms which need to be filled if the clubs are coming across any situation that needs attention from the officials.
Thank you very much for your time, and all the best in the season to come.
Thank you very much.
Don't go away. On the other side, we check out the Barramundis. Welcome back. You're watching Sports Scene. Now, it's not every day Papua New Guinea makes the world stage. The PNG Barramundis, this time in the recent T20 men's qualifiers games in Dubai, have made it through and will be featuring in the T20 World Cup in Australia next year. The history of cricket in Papua New Guinea goes back as far as the 1900s, introduced by the missionaries. It is only in recent times that the code gained popularity. Even so, it has found home especially around the southernmost parts of Papua New Guinea, particularly the central province.
Yeah, so there's a few villages around Port Moresby that are famous for cricket, Hanabata being the biggest one. They play in the streets there. The kids, as soon as they can walk, start playing cricket. And obviously start developing very good skills from a very young age. CPNG over the years have tried to make the sport more professional. Through more funding, developed the game, brought in more technical expertise and personnel to grow the game and to develop the game. And we now compete on the world stage, and as we see this week, competing very well. With that comes a lot of expense. So we have a lot of valued corporate sponsors some have been with us for a long time. For example, BSP been with us for 11 years now. Our major sponsor was HPPNG Constructions until last year. They put in a lot of money and a lot of effort into developing the game, and it's to their credit again that we are in the current situation of competing in a World Cup because of their vision and commitment to the sport. But yeah, sponsorship's always an ongoing concern. You're always looking for more sponsorship so that you can improve your programs and improve your performance on the world stage.
The measures that PNG Cricket has taken has led to success thus far. Athlete development has been one of the focuses of the authority.
Yeah, so the focus changed to high performance. I guess the predecessors to me, previous boards and particularly our CEO Greg Campbell, who's been here for 10 years, obviously recognised the level of talent in the country, and that if we can invest in high performance, we can get these results. So, but at the moment they brought in Joe Dawes as a coach. He's a Queenslander that's coached all around the world, played high-level first-class cricket himself. With him, we've brought in a lot more professionalism. He's instilled a belief and a work ethic in the teams, not just the Barramundis, but across the Lewas and the Garramets as well. And yeah, the focus has really been on professionalism and putting in processes and standards and following them, and the players are bought in, and that brings results.
The T20 format of cricket is where Papua New Guinea has identified its strengths, a newfound love. T20 or the 2020 is a shortened format of cricket at professional level, originally introduced by the England and Wales Cricket Board in 2003 for the inter-country competition. In a T20 game, the two teams have a single innings each, which is restricted to a maximum of 20 overs. This format is one of the three current forms of cricket recognized by the International Cricket Council as being at the highest international or domestic level. The PNG Barramundis have set their hearts on qualifying in the 2019 T20 Men's World Cup qualifiers in Dubai.
This has been a dream for so many cricketers before us, and for generations. We've always watched the World Cup on TV, and to actually qualify for one would be a really good boost for us.
The strengths have been the batting. The batting has been really good for the last 18 months, especially. We have played a lot of T20 cricket. We've won most of the games. The team has stuck together for a couple of years, so I think everyone's really gelled and bonded really well together.
The greatest strength is they all come from one little village, basically. So they are like brothers. They really do look after each other well.
Because everyone is based in Port Moresby, we all train together every day, and probably on the weekends we see each other every weekend with club cricket, so I think that's what makes a difference. The pinnacle would be getting to the World Cup with my teammates. We have worked really hard.
The Barras headed into the final day of group stages as favourites at the top of the pool, with a superior net run rate to second place Netherlands. And they almost fell against Kenya. They were reduced to 6 out for 19 runs within 4 overs. And at the time, it seemed they had blown their opportunity to secure automatic qualification. However, Norman Vanua's fighting 54 runs for 48 balls, PNG recovered to post 118 in 19.3 overs. Then it was up to the bowlers. Kenya had Irfan Karim scoring 29 runs of 22 balls, and that meant they were 1 out for 40 after the power play. However, the slide began. There were only 2 more scores that reached double digits. Colin Sobuya made 10 runs of 19 balls. Asad Vala returned a brilliant 3 wickets for 7, and Nosaina Pokana provided superb support with his 3 wickets for 21. Kenya were bundled out for 73 in 18.4 overs. On an electrifying Sunday morning match, PNG defeated Kenya by 45 runs. And the failure of Netherlands to beat Scotland allowed PNG to book their tickets to the premier event in Australia. A first in T20 format, one historical moment for Papua New Guinea cricket.
Coach, how are you feeling? I know it's hard to put into words, but how are you feeling?
To be honest, a little emotional. It's been a pretty big 2 years to go up there and what the boys have been through and everything, so for them to achieve this is pretty special.
Very special moment. Obviously great to watch you guys out here. You're celebrating every dot ball, every single. In terms of the ride for yourselves for the next year, what's the work behind the scenes for the next year?
Well, we'll start thinking about that tomorrow, I think. We're just going to enjoy the moment, to be honest. The boys and Cricket PNG have had an interesting year, and for them to achieve this, it's a great thing for us and for the nation, and also for all the staff back home that didn't make this trip.
Moving on to some fight sports, and a local boxer has one shot at fighting his way into the international arena of professional boxing. His name is John Korake. Promoters Oceania Fight Promotions made the announcement in 2 separate media conferences.
The Fight Promotions company made the announcement of Korake's fight in a brief media conference.
That there will be a title fight, light heavyweight title fight between Mr. John Korake and Mr. Sawatsuk, the light heavyweight boxing champion of Thailand. This fight is being sanctioned by the World Boxing Council under the regional body of the World Boxing Council, the Asia Boxing Council organization. That belt will represent the region of Asia from Russia to China to Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia, and now Papua New Guinea. So it is a very significant step forward for Oceania Fight Promotions. It is a very significant step forward for our light heavyweight boxing champion and up-and-coming aspirant for international fights.
Me champion lawyer, so we'll see. We'll do the fist, do the talking in the ring.
The fight is sanctioned by a respected pro boxing body and is Korake's ticket to the international arena.
It gives me a great pleasure to announce that the Vice President of WBC ABCO, Mr. Damron Cole, will be personally flying into Port Moresby to supervise the title fight that will be happening at St. John Guy's Indoor Complex on the 1st of December 2019.
It's been many years since a professional fight involving a title belt has been hosted on PNG show. Boxing legend Martin BENI reflects on his success. He believes the Korake fight is the dawn of a new era.
Before I close my eyes or whatever, I want one of the boys from Papua New Guinea to come to the top and win the world title. And that's my dream. And I believe, I trust that one of our boys will actually be there.
Apart from the main bout, several undercard fights will also take place.
This is a major move forward for Oceania Fight Promotion and the code of professional boxing in the country. There will be a total of 17 fights, 7 international bouts, and 10 local undercard fights. This is including the main title fight between PNG light heavyweight title holder Mr. John Korake, the stopper, and Mr. Chalempon, Thailand's champion. Boxers will have their contract signed on the 5th of November, which is next week. And we would also like to announce that we have already successfully hosted 3 events, and this is the 4th mega international event.
Me no pority opponent me. I know I will do it. I will prove everybody wrong. Thinking one I know I will do it. Na me got believe me that mami drop him slow opponent. And I will never let my country down, and also my province Morobe. Me big blood Morobe. So usat you Morobe, you stop now. You looking please. Begin in Morobe kumule. Me by still putting name people of flag blue Morobe in Chelo ring lo December 1st, and come along all the Morobes around Port Moresby, please sibla kana watching.
I'm to black crescent na lupa.
So you blow around the PNG?
Me blow buka. I mean Bougainville, lo South Bougainville buin. So I plenty of buin by come supporting me na top place lo me time fight them.
We head out for a break, and Sports In will continue after these messages.
Welcome back. You're watching Sports Scene. Professional kickboxer Nelson Samson is back into training ahead of next month's tournament in Sydney, Australia. He's currently in training with other local fighters at 17 Mile just outside Port Moresby.
Nelson Samson, the Desert Storm, who is training for his international bout in Sydney, Australia, and after attending several fights with his fellow fighters competing in different states, Nelson Samson, the Desert Storm, is now in country and preparing ahead of his fight. Apart from the usual city scene, Nelson opted to go out of Port Moresby with his fighters, ending up at 17 Mile in Central Province.
I'm preparing much about this fight because I have many fights that I've missed. I have the blue card that Australian Sports Committee has given me last couple of fights that I've been took part in different states of Australia, the 6 states. And I'm really preparing hard for the title fight that's coming up, the multi title fight between me and Jeffrey Ducker. But Jeffrey Ducker, because of some issue, he was pulled out, but I'll take John Dower. I'm also preparing for the fight that Ligara going to host, and both in here in PNG, and also in November and December in Australia.
Samson, who has had his fair share of attending international bouts, says having been exposed to fighting against top international fighters has given him the challenge to train even harder, making training his #1 priority.
I really want to say thank you about Greg Shepard, my manager, and will continue and always behind me to support me on my travel and sponsor me. And I'm not forgetting the hardworking staff of Young and Williams Lawyer, always be loyal and supportive towards me, and to my promoter in Australia, Steve Joss.
Aspiring kickboxer Joel RIMBU, who trains alongside his role model Nelson Samson, hopes to be like him one day. But his training alongside Nelson Samson and helping him prepare well for his fight is nothing short of a day spent well, especially when taught by the best.
It's really tough. I don't know about any other sports, but to do with martial arts, it's about commitment. When you have, you must feel the pain to gain it. There is no pain, you don't gain anything. You must feel the pain. So to do with martial arts thing, it's very tough. Training under him, he's a tough guy, and yeah, it's really tough. PNG game is coming up. It's my aim to partake in PNG games, but if me play around some mini tournaments number, if the coach or the trainers of which provinces take me up, and especially in NCD and Central, but me take part.
But kickboxing is that physical fit, safety-wise, and more. Therefore, kickboxing is much more better than any other sports, I always say.
Desert Storm Nelson Samson is not the only fighter preparing for the Sydney showdown, but his fellow countrymen as well, who have signed contracts under Jazz Promotions in Sydney.
Welcome back, you're watching Sports In. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of the show, but before we go, here's some previews. There's the Niugini Islands Club Championship that's happening starting tomorrow in KVN. It's a 2-day competition, and 3 leagues will be competing. That's the KVN, Namatana, and Lihi leagues. That winner from this competition will advance to the Niugini Islands Championship in Kimba starting next Sunday. And a winner from there will represent the Niugini Islands in the Ipatas Cup. Namatana Tigers, for one, are all set to take on the local championship with hopes of featuring at the regionals next Sunday. Now, for this weekend, other stuff are also happening as well in Port Moresby and around the country as well. KILA, what will we be looking out to for this weekend?
Well, as usual, a lot of sports over the weekend. We will be covering some kids cricket down in Palais. That's a project by Cricket PNG.
The Child Fund?
Yes, the Child Fund. And also we have the ongoing games of basketball and netball at the respective stadiums.
That's
and also, cross our fingers, we might have the PNG Barman is arriving, so we'll wait for that. We'll look forward to that, yes.
They've been very successful, so that's good. Well, I'll be keeping an eye out for the grand final, RWC that is.
Yes.
Yeah, because I've been following it all throughout. And maybe I should place my bets as well.
How exciting. So who are your bets on going to the finals?
I'll reconsider first.
Okay, good.
I had a favorite, but now I'm not so sure, so I'll reconsider my options
We'll
first.
see, we'll see.
But if you also know of an amazing story that you would like to share with Sports Scene, you can always email us at sports@emtv.com.pg and leave your contact details, and we will get right back to you. You can also message us on Facebook, that's on our Sports Scene page, or you can call us on 312-9200 and ask for any member of the Sports Scene team, and we would be more than happy to assist you. But if you're in Port Moresby, you can always stop by at Boroko down here at Garden City Level 2 and ask for any of us. And just come up to the reception. Just come up to the reception and ask for any of us. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Denoris Raiko.
And I'm Kilawani.
Good night.
Good night.